Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Black 80! Don't let him breathe! Don't let him breathe! Play that tight D!
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He's got a first down past the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go,
From
here
the
we go.
32 now. Here's first and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And a big loss here as
They can't stop us, baby.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here we go.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
11. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Check 45's the mic. Check 45's the mic. Bravo. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
A gain of 39 that time. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's first and 10 from the 45. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. 180. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. 36.
They'll run on first down. Way. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Not today, baby. Not today.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
All day, dog.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. A gain there of 21 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Here we go.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Block.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he's going to go down again. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safe thing, it puts them in that position.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
On the set. 58 to Mike. It's our field. It's our field. Recon, 132 fighting. Deuce, 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 deuce. 25, check 25, check 25.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line.
Big hits all
A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
Set. Right over there. 50. Plant. 58, right there. I got you. I got you. Extra Delta. 58's the mic. Hey, pick it up, defense.
Second and 6. He finds his target. It's Evans. And now look at him go. 20, 10, and all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. 89 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well
Point
done.
A, B, and C.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Come on, QB, come on. Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel.
2nd and 5. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, tight.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Set, ready. 18 Gator. See me in your nightmares, son. You go. Set, go.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Here we go. Set, 8, read. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Ready.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
Bang, 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 bang.
2nd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack.
Okay, break.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Switch. Box try. Whip. Ready to go.
Looking to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We got trips over here. Let's overload.
Blue dart porkers. Check, let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Seibert on for the PAT. it's good to make it 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Here we go. In the first half, this becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually, man, that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 35.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
66. Roll it high. Tighten up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's checking. Crash.
On 2nd down now. It's Evans. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there on a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Safety's creeping.
They'll run with a Hall of Famer, Peyton. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Chopper. Haywood.
Watch the run. Mike's 5'9".
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result is not good. They elect the pass, and it backfires. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back in pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Quick the edge. Go. Set, go.
He completes it to Evans. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Slam. Ready.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over them. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Ready, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Matchbox, light. Scene 6. Let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Exit.
2nd and 10. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Not today, you aren't. Not today. Bravo!
2nd and 9 now. Under pressure, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Recon, 132 fights.
They're going to look to throw. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run it down to the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Trip. You got trips. You got 3.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
He likes to get those jump balls.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Wahoo! 58 for Mike. 58 for Mike.
They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of
How
the
many
time.
plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Here we go. 180!
45.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On play action, now Garoppolo. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 18. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
They should have known, baby.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. 59. I don't even know why this team showed up. Set, go.
They'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
On the ready.
Mike 5'9".
Come on. Watch tight. Tight end, watch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Mike.
Second and 3. And it's caught. Touchdown. O.J. Howard, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And Frank,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
White.
45.
11.
Garoppolo looks to throw.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
11.
That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Alert.
Garoppolo on first down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here I come.
56 to Mike. 56.
Hey, seam six.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
So the sack of Garoppolo.
21.
And now what can they come up with on third and long? Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. 14 yards in the Chicago first down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
Omaha.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should...
Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown. A big play there. 89 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost them.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Here we go.
Throwing again on second down. Garoppolo. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
21.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he lost the football. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
21.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now Garoppolo under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Sad hut. 60, orange. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now a give, right side. Evans. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. He'll drop to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Here we go, here we go. 30 base, let's go. Protein spill.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Check 24, check 24.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it
21,
revenge,
21.
but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Garoppolo. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought,